Hello, governors. Welcome to We Are Live. Extra edition.
Speaking of extra, you're being loud. You extra.
There you go. Is that maneuver early in the morning?
Nope,
right out the
that's
gate?
just me.
Okay.
That's just who I am.
Okay.
It's Chris Denman, Travis Drell. Welcome to We Are Live from Midcoast Studio, Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Everybody.
St. Louis!
I don't know what's going on with Travis, but I think he's excited that Jeff Jones from Scoops with Danny Mac is here. What up, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm not used to that early in the morning.
Yeah, it's kind of.
It's a lot.
Do you miss that? The
No.
ringing of the ears?
Well,
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it's helpful that it's 8 and not 7, right? So
True.
Travis is here.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
Kinda,
and
barely.
So, right, like, yeah, so
Yeah.
fired out of a cannon a little bit.
Jeff Jones, the man. You have been one workhorse, my friend.
I try. I like to work sometimes.
What aren't you covering, my friend? Were you just recently in Winnipeg?
I was not recently in Winnipeg.
Okay,
It would be
good
fun to go. It
research.
would be fun to go to Winnipeg. I would like to go if someone would like to give me money to go to Winnipeg.
Every time I look up, you're covering someone
Well,
somewhere.
There are things to do. There's a baseball team in town that is
Yes.
all over the place. I also was not in Mexico. That probably would be more fun than Winnipeg, in theory.
I think so.
Tis the season, right, Trav? There's playoff hockey. There's Cardinal baseball.
indeed.
There's Christian Yelich and Patrick Laine and all sorts of stuff going on.
There's a lot of fun stuff going on here in the Lou, Chris. We got a lot to get to today.
We do. We've got tons to get to. We'll do fair or foul. We'll even do a Trevu today. I'm excited to see
up.
that. The man piloting the video stream very justly, Mr. Chris Gardner. Hello, Chris.
Raccoon Cam, Raccoon Cam, Raccoon Cam, Raccoon Cam. Woo! Hey, Gardner.
What the hell is wrong with you this morning?
Yeah, I don't. Something's up.
Yeah.
I'll say good morning to you and everyone in the studio and
Uh-oh, here we go.
to my walnuts.
Oh, throw it up. Walnuts in the building.
But what the hell?
Yeah, I don't
Isn't
know.
that the Hunger Games thing?
Oh, shoot. Copyright. Hurry up
Is
and
it?
copyright. I don't think so.
I think
but
it is.
hurry
Isn't
up
it?
and
They
copyright
put
it.
up the three fingers.
Well, she puts them together. We spread them apart.
Okay,
It's
all right. that's-
completely different.
All right.
We have a question already from the Facebook comments from the Galesburg conductor. Does Trav plan to introduce a hawk on Sesame Street?
No comment. All content created specifically for Sesame Street is exclusive.
Oh, that's a good
content.
idea, though. Like if Sam the Eagle flies in the wintertime and starts snipping at people, that way you get more Sam the Eagle content.
That
too.
is also very true. Jeff Jones, helping
I'm a little
our brother
behind
out.
on
That's what I'm
Sesame
talking
Street.
about, Jeff.
On it.
Thank you.
I love Sam the Eagle. He's my fourth favorite Muppet.
Ah, nice.
Wow.
Who's
That's
your
good for
top
you.
three?
You got top
The Swedish Chef and then Statler and Waldorf.
Okay.
Ah, the old white privileged men.
The best.
Sesame Street has
best
always
men.
been woke. Sesame Street has always been woke.
Has it, though?
It has.
Okay.
Sesame Street is usually ahead of the curve. They usually establish. They recently introduced the artistic Muppet.
Like there's a whole...
An
They did.
artistic Muppet?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Autistic.
Does he paint well?
He probably does that too.
There's a whole Dave Chappelle bit about Oscar the Grouch, which I am sure you are familiar
I am
with.
very familiar with.
You know, is it that woke? I live in
No,
a
it's not
trash
that. It'll
can,
never
says
be
Dave
that. No,
Chappelle.
it won't ever be that woke.
Okay.
Yeah, they start talking about tax distribution on Sesame Street, then you really know they've gone too far.
Bernie shows up. And is there a chance? Is Sesame Street in AOC's district?
You know what? I think
It might.
yes, I believe it would be.
No. You might be living there.
Yes,
I don't
Like
think
in her
Sesame-
apartment?
I may actually be subleasing from AOC if I can.
Is that
That's okay with
part
that.
of your when you're looking to move? Or you're like, all right, where's her district and how do I live in it? Like, are you shopping for it?
No, I was doing just fine on my search. of
Yo.
places.
You living in her district?
No, I don't know. Yeah. Hey.
You guys want to text us? It's 314-669-1431. Oh, boy. Fair or foul today. We don't have it, and in honor of Jeff, we're going to let him pick it. Although I feel like he's going to pick something that might upset somebody that's coming in here at 11 a.m. to record Mental Health Matters. But let's talk about something.
No, I think that if we're picking a fair or foul, I think that because the biggest news story of the day yesterday, obviously, is the Notre Dame fire, right?
I thought it was the Cardinals losing to the Brewers.
No, that wasn't news because they threw strikes to Yelich. They had
Okay,
that coming.
got it.
Pitch to him again.
Yeah,
The Notre Dame
I don't know what
fire.
the hell that's about. But I think the fair or foul
I like where this
is
is
related
going.
to that, and
I
it's
like this.
fair or foul, humble bragging about your Paris vacation.
Yes.
That's-
There
all right.
And that's absolutely fair because yesterday, everyone in the world made that fire absolutely about themselves.
Right, like that's like, oh my God.
Can't really, yeah.
I went to Paris 18 years ago and I took a picture of it.
You got to
Like,
localize
right.
it, Travis.
Look, yes, maybe that is the case, but it was a lot of people on the IG, the Facebook, the Twitter yesterday, as Jeff pointed out, posting pictures from not a couple months ago or 6 months ago, 5 years ago on vacation with the family.
Well, Travis, people don't go to Paris every year.
I'm
necessarily.
saying, but
Yeah,
you can
and I'm
just-
saying also, like, do we
Uh-oh.
not? No. I'm asking this because I know exactly what you're talking about. And it depended on the person. Some people, I was like, you know what? I believe that this was awe-inspiring when they were there. Other people, I was like, that's a picture of you with your boobs hanging out.
That's what I'm
I mean, like I don't know.
there's a
I don't know if that
difference.
really shows that you're sorry for a church burning down.
I think you can read it, right? Like if you know the person, you have a pretty good read on like, are you a devout Catholic who is dealing with a thing right now?
Right.
Or did you
You'd
go
be
to
a-
France in high school?
Right? Yeah. There's that.
I studied
You can be
abroad.
both. Yeah. What a weird thing.
Yeah,
And
if this would have been a church in Barcelona, you would have heard of all the SLU students
Oh, no doubt.
do they go there?
about. Yeah, that's like that Barcelona is like. I don't know if they have a satellite campus there or what it is, but you hear SLU students ad nauseum. Oh, I spent 6 months in and then
did
you'll
they
be
do the-
corrected. You'll
did
be
they say
corrected.
Barcelona?
Barcelona.
About the, oh, no.
You know, and it's funny because McKendree has a lot of students from Nepal.
Interesting.
I don't know why. I think it was like one person came over as an exchange student 20 years ago,
Yep.
and they opened a pipeline. And then by the time I started there in 2005, the floor that I lived on had literally 8 guys from Nepal.
Interesting.
And it was really interesting. They hold on. There was a hookah. And I don't know everything that went into the hookah all of the time, but it
yeah.
never stopped burning.
This apple flavored tobacco is great. Dude, that's opium.
You do wonder.
I did have a question though, because we had make a Great American Race yesterday, and we
Poor
mine was
showing
about,
by you.
Yeah, it was about church burnings.
I was waiting for this.
so
I
I'm
actually
just
was waiting for
curious
this.
that it was such a huge outrage
You
yesterday.
know there are black Catholics, right?
All
and black French Catholics.
all I'm saying is that when there were 5 churches being burned down in the South here in America, not one statement from your mass media. Hardly anything from your president. Nothing from your president, in fact.
Your
Nothing
president.
from your president. And now a church that's literally 700 years old burns.
More than that.
Exactly.
There's a Disney movie
It's
about
like
it.
1,000 years.
Yeah, there's oh my God, it's burning. I get it. It's very emotional. But y'all ain't say no when 5 black churches were being burned down by
Isn't
the
the
son
guy-
of a police sheriff.
Isn't
That's
the guy?
enough.
Okay, sorry.
Isn't the guy in custody and being charged with multiple things?
There's probably the
Well,
case.
and Trev, if it makes you feel better,
probably
there were people yesterday who said this is an arson. They burned it down.
Oh no,
but it was.
Oh no, not Glenn Beck telling us
I don't know
it was
about Glenn
Muslims.
Beck, but it was like Stefan Molyneux and that whole crowd said the Muslims burned
So maybe
it
I
down.
left that door
So,
open. My
you know,
apologies. Let me
you
hear it
did.
close it.
Those are your allies now,
Oh,
Trev.
boy, let me close the door on
The
that
people
one.
who are too crazy for InfoWars
Oh,
agree
man.
with you that it was an arson.
Yeah, so maybe the Cardinals should stop pitching to Yelich. You know, that's what I've been saying the entire time.
See what you do.
Yeah, my fault.
So
I
we'll
kinda
go
jumped
with
into it too quick.
for fair or foul. What is it? Humble bragging.
Humble bragging your Paris vacation.
Your Paris vacation.
Yeah,
okay,
using
we'll go
the-
with,
using
that's
the-
less offensive of the one I was thinking,
Yeah, 'cause you-
Wall at weareliveradio.com is where you email
which
those.
involved a song.
$10 to Southtown Pub.
But
What was that?
Yeah.
it involved a song,
Good for you.
but
That
I'm
was-
not going to.
No.
I had a roommate who
The
always.
roof is on fire.
Oh, I knew it. That's a good song. though.
I had a roommate who had that at the top of his karaoke list because he couldn't really sing, but there's no singing in that song. Like you just chant that kind of over and over
Was he
again.
Nepalese?
He was not, in fact. But he did go to school. He
Good
did hang out with
usage.
the Nepalese guys with me. He
course.
was so fun fact. Did Model UN with this roommate in college. That's a fun fact. Let me tell you. But one of the Nepalese dudes would go on Model UN trips with us, and his idea, he used to pick up all of our suitcases in the lobby of a hotel and yell Sherpa and run around the lobby of the hotel.
That was a good bit.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good.
They have a unique
You should do
flag.
that. We should
They do,
do
it's
that
the triangle.
in random hotels. You do it, and you pick up everyone's baggage that's just in there and just start running around.
Okay.
Let's see how people react.
I feel like that.
It would be like when Trav walked in this morning carrying 4 shopping bags.
What did Jeff say to me?
From
I
across the
haven't seen Jeff in weeks.
Can
I
we
haven't
get
seen
you
Jeff in
a
weeks. and
duffel
what-
bag or something? He
Look,
comes in
look.
here with a new
I
bag every
did.
day.
I looked at him and I said, "You look really homeless right now."
Couldn't help but laugh because I was like, I'm going to be in New York in a few weeks, so I will actually be that.
Hey, what do you have a bunch of stuff in a Home Depot bag? It's my stuff.
And the-
Put it in a duffel bag.
And the thing is, it's not like it would look out of the ordinary for someone to be carrying shopping bags in a major urban area, right? Had they gone shopping, but there are no stores
Correct.
here.
Correct.
So you
Like, dude, that's from the Warrenton Outlet Mall.
right, like there's no Target within walking distance of downtown St. Louis.
Was that the shopping cart? You got the cart too?
I almost didn't let you in the door.
Right? Hey, here, let me get you a water. Just move along.
It is.
I was
funny.
just handed you a Newport out of habit.
There
got
are
you,
like,
man.
as I think about the closest Target to right here, they're both like fortified. It'd be like Hampton Village or Brentwood, and either way, you have to get across the battlements
Target.
to even get.
You know what I love about St. Louis, myself and my habits. If I can't think, and you need to go to a particular store, and you just pull it up on the Waze, right? And you're just like, hey, which one's the closest? So I don't, drive to X part of St. Louis County instead of another part, just because I
God
want to use
forbid
to.
you drive more than 5 minutes past your house.
Well, just trying to be efficient, pal. Do your research. Okay.
He's reducing his carbon footprint.
Thank
Travis.
you. Thanks, AOC.
My
Peace.
apology.
So it's pathetic because I'll see that one in Illinois is 17 minutes closer than one it's in
Yep.
Missouri, but I'm like, yeah, but I don't really know what's going on over there.
the one in Belleville is safe. You're good.
I went to a Target in Belleville one time because supposedly they had something. Saw Billy Fat Pants, and it's like 8 in the morning at Target in Belleville. I'm like,
Makes sense.
what's happening? I'm the only one in there. He's like, what's up, dude? He's like, why are you here? I was like, I don't know.
Here's some advice for President Trump. Don't build a wall. Teach attitudes.
Yes.
The attitude St. Louisans
Yeah,
have
it's
for
pathetic.
crossing the bridge
Yeah, I don't
Pathetic.
get it.
to the people that live around the border, and everything's fine.
Something.
No one will want to
psychologically-
go
Yeah.
one way or
I-
the other.
For no good
why it
reason
is.
either.
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
I
why
crossed
that
that
is.
Oh, what?
bridge
It's
like
right there.
26 minutes ago. It's fine. I'm alive.
It is absolutely fine. It's always been fine. It's very efficient. There are great businesses across the river. I don't have any reason to not like going across the river, but it's a river and a bridge, and I don't think I need to cross it.
Yeah, but like you go to Chesterfield,
Yeah, but ain't no river in the bridge.
but parts of Chester. Are you all right? Well, I was about to say you would go to Winsville, but no, you wouldn't.
On the fact of you criticizing my lack of travel,
Okay.
The Black Sheep says not all of us are willing to kill the ozone to watch a movie in peace, Travis.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, are you aware of this?
I am not. You. What did you do? Did you go to a non-green
Travis.
movie theater?
Travis went
Did you
to
take the PJ to go to a movie premiere?
Travis went to go see Us, which is
Okay.
a great accomplishment in black filmmaking.
It's a great accomplishment in filmmaking in general.
Okay, well then why do you always specify? Oh, it's black this, it's black this. No. Black filmmaking.
Okay.
Greatness.
All right.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. For the culture.
Yeah.
Am I wrong yet?
No, you're on point.
A guy who won't hire white actors now. Ever.
I don't think he said he wouldn't hire
He
white
said
actors.
ever.
He said
specifically
white,
Clint
He
Eastwood.
said white leads, and specifically Clint Eastwood.
Travis drove to Oakville, Melville, Lindbergh area to Ronnie's
To
Cinema
Ronnie's, okay.
to watch Us.
Like for the
Specifically,
mega screen and the whole.
Thank you, Jeff.
No.
Thank you, Jeff.
No. He drove 47 minutes out of his way to watch it in what he knew would be a quiet theater because he wasn't going to put up with his people cheering on during Us.
Indirectly.
No.
Indirectly.
Here's my thing.
Oh boy.
The only thing that could have brought you back around is if you went to Red Lobster while you were there.
There's
Damn it. I knew something.
there's an AMC in St. Charles.
Yeah, St. Charles is a little aggressive.
Very.
Remember last time, the first day you went there?
But you're going to be the
First day at the news station in
I mean,
St. Charles,
yeah.
one person from an entire radio station gets a ticket.
Whoop, whoop. It's me.
But you will be the only person going to see Us.
True. I don't
You're,
like it.
you're definitely getting the empty theater at the
I
AMC
don't know.
in
See,
St.
that was the
Charles.
thing. I think people, when they saw that, oh, it's a horror movie with black people, I think even the whites were just like, I got to check this out. I want
This
to
is
see how
like
this ends.
when I saw The Favorite with the old people.
Did
And
you?
yeah, I think I told this story here, but I went to go see it on like a Tuesday afternoon for the matinee where it's half price, and I forgot that it was half price. And the theater was full of old people who did not know what that movie was about.
No, they did not. They
just
saw
thought
the,
it was right.
They saw the garb. They saw the
Right.
Victorian garb. They thought, oh, this would
and
be a
the
piece of cake.
First time that Emma Stone used her hand on the Queen of England, one old couple.
I'm sorry?
That happens
Yeah,
in that
that's
movie.
in that movie.
One old couple stood up and walked out.
Shut
And
up.
then at the end of the movie, after Emma Stone smushes a bunny, sort of the Queen saves the bunny.
That's
not even a euphemism. She steps on a bunny rabbit.
Hey! Squishing that bunny.
Hey.
An old lady yelled from the back row. Did anybody even like that? So the old white's not a fan of
I
the
went to
favorite.
Ronnie's, as Jeff pointed out, because of the amazing atmosphere, the very, very comfortable seating. But I also, as I've tried to explain to my friends, it's important to leave your community and immerse yourselves in other people's culture.
Nah.
Okay, I was trying.
I did. Well, I just mentioned the theater because the last time I went to Ronnie's was to see First Man, I guess, and the time before that was to see Dunkirk, right? Because
Man, you were seeing some serious movies
but that was
in
when
theaters.
stuff. But that's when stuff exploded, right? I
Yeah,
was like, oh,
Dunkirk
there's
is a
sound.
theater film, right?
Yeah. Like,
Was that good?
It sounded good. It's like I've tried to rewatch it on TV afterward,
you're
and
just
it's
like,
kind of boring. Yeah,
The
not
story
great.
wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, like
Very different story structure than your traditional film, but it was fine.
it was fine.
It was fine.
Like the Mark Rylance parts were good.
Yeah.
but it's yeah.
We've got a giveaway we're doing today. If you hit share during the live stream, we will pick a winner later on today for $100 to Gateway Powder Coating.
GPC, are you with me?
Gateway Powder Coating. Check out gatewaypowdercoat.com for more information. We have been working with them for a while now because you all support them. If you need your wheels touched up, if you need a grill powder coated, maybe some furniture, Travis. You don't want that janky ass furniture getting. You can't do
Last
that.
thing you
having
want
your
is
aunt
your-
over for Easter.
Your
It's gonna be
grandmama come
embarrassing.
over and be like, I didn't raise you like this, boy. You better get that powder coated.
Fast, durable, affordable. It's Gateway Powder Coating. Again, if you hit share today, you're entered to win $100 to Gateway Powder Coating. We'll email you the certificate. Make it happen. So that's right, Gateway Powder Coating.
No.
Big thanks to them for supporting the show.
We're what 2 weeks from Endgame at this point? A week and a
2
half.
weeks. We're officially
Yeah,
2
you're
weeks.
gonna-
Yeah.
Can they powder coat my arm like the Winter Soldier for Endgame?
Oh, that's very possible.
So to answer the question, are you tough enough? That they got to put you in. They got to put your arm in this oven
Yeah,
to
probably.
bake it on. Probably a couple thousand degrees.
It might not
Yeah.
make it. It might
Okay,
not make
because
it.
they have efficient products too.
No.
Their oven would probably incinerate your arm, but that's fine.
We brought Jeff in today, not just to discuss why the Cardinals continue to pitch to Christian Yelich,
I
not
got
to
nothing.
discuss
I have no explanation for that one.
the upcoming Game 4 down the street at Enterprise Center against
Feel
the
good about
Winnipeg
that one.
Jets.
Do you feel good about the Blues going to the next round?
Yeah, because the thing
I
is,
want it for the bars in the area.
Here's my thing.
Stop saying that! You drive me nuts
Southtown
every
Pub.
time you say that.
Southtown
you drive
Pub.
me mad every
They're
year.
packed. They're
Every
packed.
year you say that.
It's the truth.
That's
I'm
like
tired of you
saying-
complaining and
that's
saying
like
everything
saying-
in your life causes
No,
Trump.
that is crazy. Stop saying that.
It would. I will say this.
not crazy, it's
It
huge.
would be nice if there was a bar in walking distance of Enterprise Center.
Give it time, baby.
There-
time, baby.
Midwestern's a little bit of a.
There's a place that used to that's in Park Pacific that used to be
yeah.
the alumni. It's called the Blue Note now.
Oh,
they are
boy,
alleged.
they're calling it.
They are allegedly open, I think, 3 hours after a game. But I went in there after a game like 2 weeks ago, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, all of our cooks went home."
Is that the one that used to be Jacques?
I don't. It's in the bottom of Park Pacific. I don't know.
Yeah, alumni is what it was
Yeah,
when I
and
lived
now it's
over there.
now it's the Blue Note. There is that. There's that Maurizio's place. That place does exist, but
Oh, Mauricio's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. So Mauricio's is like in a legit spot now. Its heyday was the decrepit buffet that was regularly open till after 3
What
a.m.
was it on Olive?
Olive, I think. Yeah, whatever it was.
I have not eaten in the new location.
I have
It's
after
not- it's good.
before a game. Yeah, it's
Still
fine.
solid.
It's
still
fine.
what it was.
I've eaten in the old location
Yeah.
when I was drunk at
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that was the spot to be when
with
we were
Beetle
coming up.
Bob one night.
Oh,
Beetle
yeah.
Bob.
A lot of people hate Beetle Bob.
Yeah,
Call him a thief. Since he walks away with people's albums all the time from merch tables.
But outside of that, there is some very important news that I know Jeff Jones really wants to get to, and that is the trailer to
Oh yeah, we
the
got thoughts.
brand new Star Wars.
Okay, we're going to start with this. The Skywalker that's rising is Ben Solo, right? We're going to be clear about that. It's
Okay.
not Rey.
So out of this
It's
loop.
just not Rey. It can't be Rey.
By the way, I'm surprised you didn't end up in Chicago. They had the huge Star Wars
Yeah.
festival in Chicago this past week.
So I really wanted to go. I did not time it. Like I was not smart enough to buy tickets when they were first on sale. They sold out in like 4 minutes or
would
something.
imagine.
And the resale on the convention tickets, it's a little much. It was going to be a little pricey. We're
bet.
talking about like $1,000 for the week to
We
go. And I was like, yeah,
Good God, really?
yeah, like yeah. If it had been 10 years ago they'd had Celebration in Chicago, you couldn't have kept me away.
Not fair.
But I was like, I got stuff to do and no money, so I'm not going that.
So we last week in Chicago, it was a big House of Mouse week, by the way. They had They had the rollout of Disney Plus, and then of course they had the Star Wars Expo in Chicago.
The mouse owns you, right? The mouse owns Sesame Street?
No, that would be
No.
HBO and the fine
Oh,
folks.
that's right, HBO. My bad.
He
Yeah,
thinks
Warner
Iger doesn't have his paws on that in some back channel way, right?
I'm not sure. Who knows?
He always watches what he says about the House of Mouse, so I think he assumes he'll be working for them at some point.
It's only the largest entertainment conglomerate in the world, so they only own 14 major properties. But
It helps.
It kind of would be wise for me not to backtalk them. But the fact of the matter is that we got the title for the upcoming Star Wars film, which is
Yep.
going to be released in December, The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes,
Oh my!
indeed.
What were your thoughts on that? First of all, the title. Are you okay with the title?
I
know a
mean-
lot of times the Star Wars fans get a little weird about new things.
So here is, and I think that my thoughts on the title are wrapped up in my thoughts on the whole thing, and here's where I'm at. I'm really worried about the extent to which J.J. Abrams is going to just roll back all of the things that I liked about The Last Jedi, right? Because all of the incel boys threw a hissy fit,
They
and so I'm a
What's
little worried.
incel short for?
Involuntary celibate.
I like
And
that.
so
That's pretty good.
I am a little worried to the extent that JJ is going to be like, all that cool, like off the wall left turn Star Wars stuff that Rian Johnson did. Forget it. Everyone's a Skywalker. Here's Death Star.
But I wouldn't say that it makes sense, but considering the backlash, considering the box office disappointment, and I put that in quotations, by the way.
I
It's one
understand.
of the top 10 grossing films 2 years ago.
And the disappointment really, like, they felt it more with Solo, right? Because
Right.
people threw a fit about, and Solo wasn't very good.
Solo wasn't good.
People threw a fit about Solo,
That's
and so,
fair.
whatever. Solo only ended up making like $100 million.
Right.
But yeah, like, I understand the business of it, and but for me, as a person who liked The Last Jedi a lot, I'm like, I did have a little bit of when they had like the shot in the trailer of Kylo Ren's helmet being like fixed, right? Like the very demonstrable, look, we're fixing it. Like, all right, like I get
I
it,
didn't
right?
think
Like
that. I didn't think about
I
that.
thought that was a pretty clear signal to like all the cranky fanboys that were like, no, it's okay, like, whatever. Plus, now you get to sell the badass Kylo Ren patched helmet action figure.
Which is why we're actually here.
You're right.
Let's
Yeah,
be
like with like the
honest.
red lines through the helmet,
Right.
right? Like, oh my, I get it.
Yeah.
But no, like, so there are a lot of things in the trailer that I liked. I liked the big collapsed hunk of the Death Star.
Hey, my friend,
Yes.
this is a brand new Reimagine We Are Live. We just don't talk about the trailer.
Oh.
We show
show
the
it.
trailer.
Oh, wow.
Gardner, fire that bad boy up.
Our boy Paul asks, what time does non-nerd wall start?
By the way, thoughts about this? They have to put Rey in the clean version of her Episode 7 outfit because that's all the old footage they have with Carrie Fisher, and they have to match it. And that's why I'm guessing that's why her new costume looks like her old costume.
This is a pretty intense scene.
Which planet, Trav?
This is Texas. Looks like Texas to me. Every generation has a legend, Chris.
I think this stuff's cool. I just am so removed from it.
I will say one thing they can do is make a trailer.
They can cut the hell out of a trailer.
I don't know. I think Gardner could do it with a gimbal and a cell phone.
Oh boy.
He has a mean face.
She's a pretty woman. Oh, Snikes. Woo!
She just jumped over a rocket.
I will say that ship does have guns. It should probably be shooting at her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
That is pretty badass.
This is the
Another brother. Hey, John Boyega, I see you, bro.
There's your brother.
Hey, that's Billy D. It's Billy D. Williams. The saga comes to an end. Okay, nice try, Disney. Well, this is pretty intense. Ooh. Carrie Fisher. That Oscar Isaacs, I tell you. Is that the Death Star?
Wait for it.
Is that Negan?
That's the Emperor, Trev.
Oh boy, it's getting real. The Rise of Skywalker. So there you have it, my friend.
Pretty good.
So is this, as Star Wars fans, are they shepherding it in the right direction for you?
I mean, the trailer, the trailer.
That was a really,
fine.
boy, were you guys delayed, which means they are not.
Well, I liked the direction they went with The Last Jedi, and so if this is going to be like a big reversal of that, I will be annoyed. I'm sure I will still like it, but I will not be thrilled.
Gardner, where are you at on Star Wars? I mean, you like half of the stuff you see is a documentary.
Good point.
I haven't really.
Watched any of the newer Star Wars?
Sure.
Or any Star Wars?
Well,
Have you ever seen it?
I've seen the original one
When was the last time you watched the original?
probably over 20 years ago.
Oh my God!
It's just,
So you haven't seen any of the Star Wars?
He is dug in. He likes being that guy who won't watch your favorite movie.
Yeah. No,
we
this
need to
is-
realize this.
Yeah, this is true.
The baby, you've given him donuts for breakfast, and now he demands it, and he's moving on to ice cream.
It's just I just don't feel like sitting down and watching stuff a lot.
Well, it's funny because we are right now this summer we are 20 years removed from the Phantom Menace.
From Jar Jar Binks?
Jar Jar Binks 20 years this
That's
summer.
20 years ago.
was 20 years ago.
Oh my
I
1999.
saw
Yeah.
that. I saw that. I remember
What-
seeing half of that in theaters.
I remember seeing it in
Something.
theaters.
What year did the original
Really?
Star
I guess
Wars
it does
come
make
out?
77.
77.
So we are nearly as far removed from the Phantom Menace as the Phantom Menace was from original Star Wars. That was 22 years.
I did see that in theaters 20 years ago. That's
did?
insane.
Had-
I saw that in a theater that no longer exists.
Me
20
too.
years
I
ago.
saw that at Hall's Ferry 14, which is
Oh, I've been there.
I saw it at the
Oh,
Quad
yeah.
Cinema 4 in Belleville.
Hall's
The
Ferry-
greatest black theater in the history
in the
of St.
history of the
Louis.
St. Louis area. The
Oh.
greatest. The greatest.
The thing that I remember the most about that movie is the Pepsi cans.
Yes.
The Pepsi cans were everywhere. Like every can of Pepsi that I saw for an entire summer. And that was a summer where we had a membership at a pool, so I was there all day, every day, right?
Oh.
Just with a cooler.
Oh, those
full
were
of
the
soda.
good days.
And
Damn, I miss those days.
it just the Pepsi cans, all of the Pepsi.
Life
cans.
was so
Return
much
of the
easier.
Jedi. Is that the second one?
That
Third
was
one.
The third.
Which one has the Ewoks?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay, I've seen part of that one. So I
Okay.
might have seen that one all the way through, but it has been a long, long time. So I think I've seen the original and the third one.
So you've never seen The Empire Strikes Back?
I don't think
You've
so.
never
this-
seen Luke, I Am Your Father? You've never seen that?
No, I guess I have.
Yeah, you've seen it.
That's a seminal film moment.
You've seen it even
So-
accidentally. As many times as it's been
Yeah.
on TV.
Like
you've
the
seen
snow,
it.
right,
I've
with the big
seen
walkers
the
in the
original
snow.
3,
Okay.
but I haven't seen them in over 20, and it's probably 25, over 25 years.
Okay.
I've never watched them a second time through, I guess. Is
Well,
what I
so
should say.
when they came, because they got re-released in '97 for the special edition, the 20-year anniversary. So would
Okay.
you have gone to the theater in
No.
'97 to see
No.
them?
Can we
No?
acknowledge?
I've
though,
never seen a Star Wars movie in the theater.
Wow.
Can we acknowledge though we are in the middle of the golden age of nerd culture? Like just right now, just thinking about what we have coming up in 2 weeks that you
insane.
mentioned, Endgame. We just saw the season premiere, the final season of Game of Thrones.
That's
And
the one
at
I
the end
don't
of
see, by the way.
the end of the year, we're going to
You don't
have
watch Game
Star
of Thrones at
Wars.
all?
So, which is interesting because you're not into Star Wars and you're not into Game of
We
Thrones.
only have so much
which
time.
makes sense. No, you have plenty of time.
No, I don't.
Plenty of time.
Definitely don't.
Make time for the things that you want in life.
I do.
That's
And
what
if
I
you
do.
want
Not
Star
Game of
Wars,
Thrones.
and if you want Game of Thrones, then you
Yeah.
can have
I-
both.
And that's
Bless
why I
people who watch it, but
take
yeah.
a drive to Cuba, Missouri.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Has Billy D. Williams ever killed anyone in one of those movies, and then afterwards gone like
Nobody was accused of it by the police.
gone like
17 times.
Horatio Kane, like with a one-liner from CSI,
like CSI
and then,
style.
like something. He has like a cool move, and then has he ever done the line "works every time"?
No, he shot a bunch of stormtroopers and then he flew the Millennium Falcon and blew some stuff up. But I don't know that. I don't know.
He needs to hurt someone and use the line "works every time."
Childish Gambino gets down with a robot in the Solo movie.
Oh boy.
That's a
What do you
thing.
mean gets down?
I mean, like, I don't know.
Intercourse.
I'm trying to not say the F word on your stream
Let's
right
not
now.
do that. We
But
should
that
not
is
do
that is a thing.
That
yeah.
is okay.
He said bone funny.
That is Donald Glover playing young Lando has an ongoing dalliance with a droid.
That happens in Japan every day.
I mean,
now.
that's the thing,
that is
right?
the culture of
You
Japan.
don't need Star Wars.
I did think that was maybe the boldest move of Solo is that we acknowledge that, like, in a galaxy full of robots, they're putting it in the robots because of course they are.
That's who we are now.
I mean,
Oh,
we're
becoming-
there now. So you're telling me in
Right, like-
about a century we're not going to be there?
We're supposed to pretend that, like, adolescent Anakin, when he was, like, 12, didn't go to C-3PO and was
Do
like,
they have
hey.
Star Wars sex dolls?
Yeah, I'm
Lady
sure they
voice
do.
on-
I'm
oh,
sure
yeah,
it's not
of course.
licensed, but I would imagine they exist. There are.
That
there's-
could be a good. That's where we make our money, boys.
There are Avengers
We do a
sex
black
toys.
market for comic sex toys.
I mean, there's an
Comic,
Avengers.
nerdy kind of sex toys.
I'll show you after the show. I'll show you maybe during the break. There is
I'm sure you
actually
will.
one dedicated to the Avengers. So there's the Hulk. There's Iron Man. So you can kind of get an idea as to where these sex toys are going.
Do they
do produce those particular products that
Is
are unlicensed.
Black Widow a part
Oh,
of
there's a Black Panther.
Do they make a Stormbreaker?
what?
No, there is a Thor.
Thor's hammer?
What does Chris say about hot guys with big hammers? He likes it. He's a big fan of it.
Drops are a bit of a reach these days. So
Hot guy's got a hammer.
No, but we have that one on standby. Damn it.
Briefly on the Avengers, I did watch Age of Ultron this weekend for the
Very
first.
good
It just
movie.
happened to be on, so I watched it.
That's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie.
Like, why is James Spader like? It was like, okay, I get the
Robert
James.
California.
I mean, that's the thing. Like,
That's why it was bothering you.
Right.
yes,
It's
and
Robert California, that's why you're bothered
I get
by
that
it.
James Spader has had other roles.
Yeah.
but Ultron
He's on the
really,
blacklist,
But
bro.
Ultron really was Robert California,
It was.
right? Like, he's just kind of like weird and enigmatic. Like this is not a good.
In fact,
comic
James
book
Spader
film.
has changed his name. His name is now Robert California.
Right, like you can't. Yeah, it was not good casting. Not good casting. Ruined the whole movie.
Jeff, you're a hater.
Plus, there's been half the movie like at a farmhouse, sad. You're a superhero. Go blow something up.
But it
Punch
pays
something.
off in Endgame, Jeff.
Does it?
I don't know. We'll see. Have you got your tickets?
No.
Oh yeah, are you guys doing that? Are we gonna? Well, I think we might be doing some video stuff. We might have a little video surprise around the in-game release, right? We'll see.
We'll certainly try to make it happen. We're very excited to see the film, certainly. But right now, tickets are very hard to come by. I saw in Edwardsville they're offering tickets at 3:45 a.m.
Huh? Well,
This is how tense it was. This is crazy as to where it's going. Speaking of crazy, we talked about it yesterday on the show
Nice.
about
Sorry.
Game of
That's
Thrones
great.
and ratings. And
Switching gears.
we found out. Yeah, no, it's still on Nerd
does
Culture.
HBO do ratings?
They do, and they came out with an 18. So over 18 million viewers tuned in to the premiere of the highest in the history of HBO.
Is that good?
That's very good, especially for premium cable. That's impressive. And then, of course, they're expecting an additional amount on the downloads and the rewatch and the recordings and on demand. So
I don't
definitely-
have a good command of what the ratings mean.
essentially, but I
And maybe
think for
that's
a
why I've had a
cabler-
number of jobs in the media industry.
That makes
But
But it's impressive for a cabler, especially in 2019, a premium
Cabler?
one,
What
to
is
have
Cabler? Is that
to
industry
have,
speak?
18 million viewers for a premium cable show like.
So
on
here's
HBO.
what I'm curious about, and Lord knows HBO can do no wrong, and far be it for me to criticize
Okay.
them. Bless up the street. But my thought here is, I know when they dropped the new Game of Thrones episode,
Yeah.
they put it on HBO Go and HBO Now at the same time,
Yes.
right? Do you know? Did you have the ability to scroll to the end? Right, so they release Game of Thrones at 8 when it goes on at 8.
That
Could I
do
have jumped
not-
ahead
I
to
don't
the end?
think you
I
can.
don't
I don't know because that's what I would like. When the series finale comes out, won't there be people
no.
who go to the last shot, which is going to be whatever that short guy on the chair?
And what they've generally done in the past for season finales,
Right.
They purposely delay
They wait.
they wait
Okay.
to release it.
Okay.
So that may have been a possibility in the past. I don't know if it is now.
Yeah, I was honestly
that
curious.
makes sense.
Travis, I have a question.
Yes.
How else can I use the word cabler? What else is allowed here? Like, if the Spectrum guy comes by the house to do an install. Is he a cabler?
He could be. It could be a cableist, a cableologist,
Okay.
a cablinian.
Okay.
So those are some of the phrases you could possibly use to describe him.
I just hadn't heard that that word.
Guys, I understand that you guys are simple folks and you're not in the industry like I am, but I will make sure that you get in touch with my assistant when you guys try to make lunch with me in New York in a few weeks.
I don't know why I thought about this, but Cable Indian made me think of an Alien and Men in Black, which made me realize there's a Men in Black movie coming out this summer.
Boom.
But
There is?
Nerd culture,
but that's the
Pete,
thing.
yeah.
Speaking of really good trailers, that was a really good trailer.
Yeah.
And then I haven't heard a single word about that movie ever since.
Because
What
they're
happened?
probably not done filming.
Okay.
Is it Tommy Lee Jones
No,
and Will Smith?
it is
Not even
Liam
close.
Neeson, one of the Hemsworths, and Tessa Thompson.
Chris, get it correct.
I don't.
Okay.
One of the Hemsworths.
Hey, man,
is that Thor?
That is
the same
Thor,
one?
man.
Okay.
And then the
Is
fine
Liam
ass
Neeson
Tessa
the one
Thompson.
who became problematic recently?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's probably why.
Probably
That's
want to let you
probably why.
forget a little bit
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just kind of
That's
put that
what
a little bit on the back burner.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably what.
Yeah,
it is.
Liam, I wanted to wander around a black neighborhood to kill somebody. Neeson.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
as Chris likes to call it back in the day, gym class.
That's funny.
That was good.
That wasn't a go. That was don't. I know why you did like the I'm Tiger Woods fist pump here. Is because it wasn't that good and you were trying to sell it. But
All right.
I appreciate that.
Happy about Tiger Woods' win in the Masters this past Sunday.
It was fine.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of Tiger.
Well, no. I'm not a Tiger fan. I just am not a golf guy in general.
Okay.
Right? Like I wasn't.
As you wear
I wasn't.
a PGA Championship Bell Reed polo in studio.
Here's the
Jeff
thing.
Jones.
I'm not a golf guy. I like free stuff.
That's fair.
That is
This
fair.
is the most expensive shirt that I
is.
own.
I'm about to
and
say
it
that
was
bad boy
free.
like $85
Yes,
shirt you
it
got on.
absolutely is, and it was free.
So I don't blame you there.
No, and that's we have talked about this a lot at the ballpark. Like literally every day, there has been a Cardinal game at Busch Stadium since the PGA Championship. Probably since it started, but
Right.
definitely since it ended, there has been at least one media person in
With
a
their-
Bell Reed PGA polo because they were free, and literally everyone got
That's
one.
really funny.
And they're like, it's like a nice shirt that
And,
you can wear to the ballpark.
Not knowing Jeff was wearing.
Oh boy,
Gardner.
Oh, there it is. I love my city. I love my city because when there is an event in this town, you will ultimately see literally 2/3 of the population wearing a shirt from that event.
They were Ralph Lauren golf balls.
Yeah, and they're great golf. They're
Again,
great shirts.
Literally an $85 shirt.
That's funny because you can drive around this city, and whether it's the Final Four, Cardinals in the World
Yeah.
Series, Bell Reeve, you're going to see 2/3 of the population at some point throughout that year wearing a shirt from that event.
Look, and you mentioned all of the things that I have been covering. I will tell you, as a person who has covered a variety of things, nobody does a spread or a swag bag like the PGA. I get why
Yeah.
golf writers like their job. Like, it would suck to be a golf writer and have to walk up and down a golf course for many weekends in a row.
Shape, beautiful
you would
courses,
be. That is
outstanding locales.
Yeah, but it's really hot and it's a lot of walking. But the food's good
Not gonna-
and the swag
not gonna
bag
argue
was
that.
great.
What's so you're traveling? You've been down to spring training. You've
Yep.
been visiting ballparks.
Searching for a question.
Chicago in 2 weeks.
No, not at all.
He's
I
got
know.
one? You got
I'm
one?
trying to make it. I'm trying to make it normal, so we don't have to just go into Colton Wong's OPS. But no, whenever you're
Yeah.
when you're traveling, how are you treated at visiting ballparks?
Well-
and is there a difference between Busch Stadium and others?
There is.
Like how you see visiting people getting treated, as opposed to
Oh.
like, well, I walked into Milwaukee and they handed me a block of cheese and a beer
Yeah, I don't really like it. That's sort of hard to say because
because you don't pay attention or care.
here's the true and out of touch answer. I don't know anything about the fan experience in a lot of those places.
Oh, I'm in
I don't-
media
Oh yeah,
experience.
like and it's fine. Milwaukee is nice because you get to park for free in a parking lot that's very close to the door.
Mm-hmm.
So we like Milwaukee for that.
Okay.
Chicago is not as convenient because it's Wrigley. There's nowhere to park, right? So, but if you here's a good tip: if you're visiting Wrigley Field, if you park in one of the neighborhood streets on the east side of Broadway, it's free. Free parking on the east side of Broadway.
Chicago?
Yeah. So, which is great. I mean, you're talking about walking at that point probably 3/4 of a mile to the park, but it's free parking, and so it's a little 15-minute walk.
it is
it's not that
Chicago.
bad.
It's still probably a beautiful
It's fine.
neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's very
it's
nice.
fine. It's a good place to park. So yeah, that's in a couple of weeks. I saw photos of the recently remodeled Visitors Clubhouse at Wrigley. I am excited to see it in person because that place mostly sucks. So hopefully it is now, and like, it's bad enough for me. But I know that the TV crews really used to hate it because the room was not any wider than like that wall to that wall for the Visitors Clubhouse in Chicago, and probably 2, maybe 3 times as long, but not even quite 3 times as long as this room. Gardner, have you been to the Visitors Clubhouse at Wrigley?
Yes.
And like it's probably as wide as this room, and maybe twice as long.
It was, 2015 during
Yeah.
the NLDS, and there was more media for a playoff up
Yeah.
there. They had to like prioritize media because players were so tight in the locker room.
And it's where it is.
clubhouse.
It's in the middle of a building that's many years old, and so there are columns they can't remove, right? So there are these big vertical columns all throughout the room.
Oh, wow.
And the tricky part is that those columns all have mirrors on them for people to look at their uniform or whatever when they go out to the field.
Okay.
So if you are shooting video in the locker room post game, gotta watch those angles.
Yes, because you're gonna catch a couple
you're gonna
players
catch
with
some stuff in the
hanging
mirror.
brain.
Yeah, buddy.
You can't be doing that.
Sweet mercy,
Not great for a
Lord.
TV crew.
No,
Not
I
great.
wouldn't imagine so.
My
Yeah,
goodness.
it's a terrible place.
What are
It's I mean, let's not forget the Cubs put out their April Fool's Day joke that they're trying to turn into something else, where they had their sense of Wrigley,
right?
which was
There's no sense if you go to Wrigley.
Good one, Chris.
dirt,
you.
leather, and something
Ivy.
else.
There's
Ivy.
ivy.
But let's remember what the true one is.
That's the one we're gonna. Yeah.
The one that we are now marketing,
imagine.
landfill.
Available at buyjack.com.
I think is the second wave fragrance pee because it does smell like pee.
Old year.
But not just urine, like
old.
like embedded into the concrete since the Reagan
Well, have I told you about the poor guy I saw at a Billy Joel concert once?
Is that the one who fell into the trough?
He was passed out in the trough. His right arm. He had. So Gavin DeGraw had opened for Billy Joel.
Because that makes sense.
Sing me your favorite Gavin DeGraw song.
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
It was that one or Chariot.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only two I know.
But he gentleman had clearly gone to the restroom to purge out some of the many beers he had drank, had kneeled in front of the trough, and had passed out. And his right arm was in it, and the people
that
were
point,
just using it. What are you going to do?
Chop your arm off.
Right, yeah.
You eventually chop your arm off. That's what he should do. I find this very fascinating as from the outsider looking in, but covering the Cardinals can be very intense. Yeah. How have you adjusted now that you've become part of the scrum? You've become part of those who truly cover the Cardinals on a day-to-day basis.
Jumped in. Derek Gould just kicking him in the head. Yeah.
Stalls hitting you with a trash can. but I'm curious though, how have you adjusted to the interneting while you're covering the Cardinals? Because the more you get into it, the more you get in deep as far as being able to cover the Cardinals on a day-to-day, the more people are attracted to your coverage.
The more you see the crazies.
There you go.
Well,
so how have you adjusted since then? Because we've seen you from guy that's at the ballpark. Now you're working for a guy like Danny Mack and Scoops and MajorLeagueBaseball.com. So you're really into it. What has been some of the feedback, if you will, from I'm sure very reasonable Cardinal fans?
The most important thing I can tell anyone is that you should use the mute button on Twitter as much as possible.
I concur.
Just
It'll drive you
mash that
crazy.
mute button.
It'll drive you crazy if you try and act like you're a normal person. You're having an interaction. What I find anytime you interact with the stuff you're talking about, the first thing I say is, "Oh, you're being serious."
Yeah, right.
That-
right.
It,
Like, this is
literally,
not,
it trips
right.
me up, and I was like, "You just said the thing that we jokingly say
Right.
all the time, but you mean it."
Yeah, like the
that's
guy,
thing.
the guy who's like, "Why doesn't anybody ever ask them X, Y, or Z?" I'm just hitting the mute button because of course they get it right. Like it's just not worth it. There's no
not worth it.
engaging.
There's no winning
upside
either.
And this is a thing I have tried to tell many of, or I guess probably one of the people who works down at the ballpark every day.
Right.
I have urged. Let's see here.
Efforted?
Rhymes with Garrick Dould. And I have urged him many times to use the mute button so he does not drive himself into insanity on the Twitter tweets.
Yeah, but there is that thing where it's just like you would never speak to anybody like that. And I'm not even advocating for violence, but you just wouldn't most of the time speak like that. If
You would never speak to
sitting
anybody
across
like that.
the table. Some people would.
Yeah.
Some people would.
Well, some people know they would get the smacked out of them as well.
That's
generally
also
speaking.
good.
But yeah, to that point, I think that is probably the best way to go about it because sometimes I see
there's no upside. There's no there, right? Like there's nothing good comes like you figure out in a hurry who is already dug in, right? Like, and it's just not worth it.
How often does it splinter, though? Because I feel like, especially in these very tense political times, that people start taking it another direction outside of just the Cardinals. How often does that happen? And what's your usual reaction? Also to block and mute too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't block. I just mute.
I block. I'm up here like the
I don't even bother, right?
I'm up here
Because
like, get that out of it. No.
I've had people be like, "Yo, did Travis block me?"
I don't
I'm like, thanks for putting that on me, Trav.
I don't want to give anybody the satisfaction of that, right? Like if unless you're doing like the immediate physical threat and or like using racial slurs thing, I don't really care to block anybody. Like that's fine. I'm mute, go away.
I'm in block mode. I was in block mode this weekend, baby. I'm like,
why?
Okay, get it out of here. Get it out of here. People are like, why are your tweets protected? I'm like, shut up, blocked.
I don't think that happened.
Yeah, I was like, get it out of here. Dikembe Mutombo, no.
But you do the soft block because you're locked down, so the soft block is very useful.
No, I'm a straight up
block
block.
So you
unblock.
protected your tweets and you're blocking people?
Oh, no doubt. Oh, no, here's I'll explain.
You went
like,
full
there was
socialist regime.
No, someone came into my mentions and they were out of box. They were completely, they were like, as you just mentioned, talking to me as if I was regular people to them. And as Jeff pointed out, there's no need to engage into those people, so I immediately block. There's no need for me to get into a back and forth. Some BS podcast with 114 followers had a smart-ass comment about us in our show, and I was like, just not going to happen.
Yeah, not worth it.
Not worth it.
Why don't you let me know about this stuff?
Because it's not that big. I don't want to give, again, too much oxygen to people who are out here who have nothing else to do but simply... Like, again, I see it sometimes with you when people come after you, and I'm like, this guy...
It's weird.
Because I know you can take care of yourself, but at the same time, I'm like, this guy's grinded his entire time to get to this point in his career. None of you have worked this hard ever at anything, and you're sitting back on a computer or on your phone, just not talking about something you know nothing about.
And here's my thing. I don't ever see that stuff because it's always the same people.
Yeah.
So they've been muted
so they've been
months.
Okay.
They're gone.
Okay.
They're not a part of my universe, right? I don't see it. Like you ask me how do I deal with it? The answer is I don't ever see it. I literally don't because it's always the same people all the time. So it's just like, we're done. Get out of here.
You talking about We Alive. You talking about Midcoast Media. You talking about my sponsors. You talking about my people. You talking about what we trying to do here. If you ain't about the love and support and positivity, then I'm gonna block you and mute you every single time.
I will say
I don't have time for that.
Briefly, if we're talking about like people reacting on Twitter, Michael Gaines last night.
Love Michael Gaines.
Let's jump into that. We're going to get Gaines back in the studio.
As Christian Yelich is just launching balls out of Miller Park. I think the tweet from Gaines was...
Our old producer, Michael Gaines, has become... This is what I think Magic Johnson wanted to do the entire time. That's why he quit the Lakers, just so he can do what Michael Gaines does on Twitter, and that's just tweet to anyone and everything about whatever's going on in the moment. And Michael Gaines...
Yeah, don't cover for Magic.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Perhaps I shouldn't do that. But Michael Gaines, though, has absolutely gone to war with St. Louis media. I enjoy this. He's gone to war with your boys over at 101, Gardner. He's had a few interactions with them as well. So what was our good friend, old producer Michael Gaines doing on Twitter last night? Because the Cardinals lose 10-7 to the Milwaukee Brewers. Christian Yelich continues to absolutely obliterate this ball club with his 97th home run in the season against the Cardinals. Technically, how many of his home runs have been against the Cardinals?
I think it's 7 of the 8.
He has serious?
He has against the Cardinals a 2,800 OPS. It's like and literally, and Schilt said last night in the post game that he'd never seen anything like it in baseball. And you just walk him. You just walk him at right. Like, what are you gonna do? So games last night at 9:51. What are conversations like between DeWitt and Mo after Brewer games? Does Mo just hope he went to bed? Gaines on March 28th, which he bumped last night. Watching the Brewers play the Cardinals isn't great for my relationship with John Mozeliak. And then Gaines did a whole thing about Mo going to Best Buy. Here he goes. I have a story. John Mozeliak went to Target looking for a TV. He loved the 70-inch TV they had and really wanted it, but the 70-inch TV was too big for his small living room. He was disappointed, but there was a 60-inch TV that still looked great and it was cheaper. So he'd save money and still enjoy a nice picture. Target told him it wasn't in stock, but they would have some more in 2 weeks. He panicked. He began running down the aisles looking for a TV. He grabbed the first thing he could find. It was a 32-inch TV and one of the antennas was broken. And so this is Gaines with the Marlins and Stanton and Yelich and Ozuna.
John Mozeliak, president of baseball operations for the St. Louis
And
Cardinals.
he also pointed out that Dexter Fowler's exit velocity and hard hit velocity are bottom 5% in Major League Baseball.
Oh boy.
But he's getting on base.
And he also wears some really cool Jordan cleats when he plays.
He does.
So kind of got to give him that.
You know who's the Jordan of realtors? Tommy Bannister.
Oh,
from Circle
Tommy
Properties.
Bannister.
Why work with Tom?
Look at him. He looks like Jordan.
Why work with Tom, you ask?
Why would I work with Tom, Chris?
Well, he spent his life in St. Louis, building an extensive background in sales and client relationships. Is that important to you, Travis?
That is absolutely important to me, Chris.
He's a fourth-generation St. Louis, and customer service, sales is in his blood. Raised listening to stories, learning lessons from his father on presentation, problem solving, and he considers his father the best salesperson he's ever met. That's right. Great relationship with his dad. Working hard to work for you. He strives to make the process of selling your home as easy as possible. He's got a full team supporting him in the background. He prides himself on his ability to listen and deliver what his customers want and make sure he's having fun along the way. Contact Tom Bannister, tom.bannister at circastl.com, 314-393-5386. Drop him a line if you're thinking about buying a house, thinking about selling your house. Tommy Bannister, Circa Properties can help today.
Bam. Mm-hmm. Jeff?
This time is flying by the way.
Oh, that's what happens when
we
you're
did
having
have a
fun.
question earlier that I feel like we need to address. Longtime listener and supporter of Jeff Jones, the Galesburg conductor, was wanting some spring soup recipes or recommendations. Not gonna. When you got the soup man in, you got to ask him.
Now, what do you do? Because today we're talking about a high in the mid 70s at some point today here in St. Louis. So
Yeah.
what are you
Don't
recommending?
fall back on gazpacho.
I actually was gonna say, so I'm going to Chicago, Cinco de Mayo weekend. The Cardinals are at Wrigley, and I'm hoping it's warm enough, and it should be. One of my favorite spots to get lunch in Chicago is the Little Goat Diner, and they do a strawberry gazpacho with some cilantro in the summertime. That is awfully nice. As a little
That
side
sounds
for a
pretty good.
sandwich.
Do you at the Little Goat Diner? Do they serve goat? That would
They
be
do.
kind of morbid.
They do.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they have a
that'd be
whole.
morbid.
They have,
Oh,
they
Oh,
have,
you got a little cute little goat as a logo, I'm guessing, and
Yep.
then it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and you can also eat it.
You can. They have goat sloppy joes and goat empanadas, and it's pretty good.
sounds
So
pretty good.
it's the chef is Stephanie Izard, who won Top Chef Chicago like years and years ago.
Nice.
But she has a whole goat thing. Like Girl and the Goat is the big fancy restaurant, and then there's the Little Goat Diner, and then there's Duck Goat, which is the Chinese place, and she just opened a it's Peruvian, I think, place called Cabra, which is Spanish for goat.
Yeah. Hey,
It's a
you got a brand. use it.
branding.
Love the synergy.
We
Absolutely.
just we just market bad comedic timing, and
Yeah, we're pretty.
Walls.
We're very good at that.
Yes.
We're very good at that.
that makes sense. Jeff, what do you have coming up for Scoops with Danny Mac? What are you going to be focusing on? What do we need to look out for in the near future? By the way, again, congratulations. And
thanks.
I think it's awesome. And a little bit, it sounds crazy because you all think, oh, Danny Mac, he's got it made. He does this, he does that. This is he's gotten serious about this.
He's
This is
gotten
an endeavor, man.
very
it's-
serious about
and
it.
And I say he's like, it's a little bit brave, but like when you're an established guy like him, like one wrong thing could make public opinion make all this go away. So I think it's really
But we get the
interesting. you
the
said that.
tremendously good podcasts from Derek Gould nearly every week. We do the Fridays with Ben Fred. He's all over all the soccer stuff with everyone who does soccer in St. Louis. There's all sorts. He just now started the new show last week with Martin Kilcoyne, which is Tony
What?
Talk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where Martin does a podcast in his Tony La Russa voice.
Martin's out here doing in-character podcasts.
He is. He's
This
doing-
is very
got room
Ron
for-
Burgundy-esque. I
Tony
like
Talk.
this.
You got
There's a
room for a
lot
Mark
going on.
Wahlberg podcast?
There's
Oh,
probably
no.
I'll
Oh,
sharpen
God.
it.
No.
We could do the Red Sox.
No! go.
Features to come for sure. Like I said, I'll be in Chicago for that big weekend series against the Cubs. Also, if you on Easter Sunday would like to spend your time reading about the New York Metropolitans on MajorLeagueBaseball.com, I'll be doing that. So that's a lot of fun.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Lots to read and write. Lots more things coming.
Predictions. St. Louis sports.
Yes.
Blues playoffs. Where do they end?
Oof. They're gonna
if you had to bet,
they will beat Winnipeg in 6. If I had to bet, I think they lose in the. I think they win the Western Conference.
Oh,
really?
I agree. I'm with Jeff Jones on that one. Woo! What a call by Jeff Jones.
And lose in the Stanley Cup.
Here's the crazy thing.
This is huge.
But do you know how great that would be
If Dallas
for the bars in St. Louis?
If Dallas had beaten Nashville last night, I would have taken the Blues losing to Dallas in the second round. Mm-hmm. But I think they'll beat Winnipeg. And if it's Nashville, I think they beat Nashville. So you're talking about probably Colorado or Vegas in the Western Conference Final. And
I like your chances there.
Yeah, I don't know,
Michael
man.
Conforto is raking, Jeff, says Jamie Moyer.
I'm aware. Go Mets.
So wait. So you're not a Blues. You're not a hater, but you're also not a honk.
I see it like
I'm taking this very serious.
So
Travis.
here's the thing. Like tonight is obviously enormous because if they go back to Winnipeg tied at 2, that's a problem.
Spicy meatball.
Yeah, that's a big problem. I don't think that's going to happen, right? Like obviously the game on Sunday was the worst game they've played in 4 months, probably
easily.
So Had they come out and played well or been competitive and lost, then it's okay to be concerned because you're like, did Winnipeg figure something out? Like, what's going on here? No, they played like ass, and you flush it. What are you going to do? It was a bad game. You shouldn't have them, but they had one, right? Like, teams lose on the way to winning the Stanley Cup. The average Stanley Cup champion loses between 7 and 8 games.
Really? I didn't even realize. Yeah. Wow, that's a great stat.
Like the most games the team has ever lost en route to winning the Cup was the Kings in 14 and the Penguins in 16.
And that was when the Kings were the 8 seed, yeah?
Yeah, they each lost 10 games.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can't lose more than 12, right? That'd be 4 7-game series.
Okay.
So 10 is the most any team has ever lost en route to winning a Cup. Most lose between 7 and 8. So you're going to have a couple of those, right? Like, the thing that's important, because I think the Blues really ought to have won the West in 2016, and I think part of the reason they didn't is that second round series against Dallas that should have ended in 4 or 5 went 7, and when you're expending all that extra energy and taking all that gas out of the tank, it hurts
a big
you.
difference,
Right? Yeah, and so I think like you have to finish series early. So they need to beat Winnipeg in 5, 6 at the most, or they need to chop games off as early as they can.
Makes sense.
I really, again, like...
Especially when you have a rookie goaltender.
Yes, big time. The series is not over. The season is not over if they lose tonight. If they win tonight, they will win the Western Conference.
I completely agree with Jeff Jones.
That's where I'm at.
I'm with Jeff on this one.
Look at that. 1 minute Cardinals prediction for the season.
You're going to
be back.
They're going to win the division. I really think they are. Like it's a good team, right? Like
I think they're a good team offensively, pitching wise, starting pitching wise. That's where I think the Cardinals at some point. I know
Martinez going to give him a shot in the arm.
I just think they'll figure
Reyes.
it out.
I wouldn't count on it. I would not count on those things.
I would take Reyes over Martinez, probably,
Agreed.
right? Like, his Reyes.
What happened?
I think he hasn't pitched in 2 years, so he doesn't trust his stuff.
Does he not take care of himself?
No, he does. He hasn't pitched in 2 years, right? Yeah. So like your touch is going to be off. You're going to have a hard time finding the zone. I think he'll figure it out. Carlos to me is off the table until he's on the table. Like I don't know what you get from that. But I think that there's always pitching to go get. Right, there's always a way to go by pitching. The thing the Cardinals have, no, don't do that.
How weird is
don't
that,
do that,
by the way?
I would like whether or not I would have gone anywhere near Keuchel in February is maybe an open conversation. I would not touch Dallas Keuchel for the rest of the season. There's no way for a guy who hasn't been around a team. I couldn't do it. The guy that I think you look out for is Madison Bumgarner, who's a free agent at the end of the season. That's a guy who would, a left-handed starter with that kind of pedigree going into a postseason.
I don't think he'd fit with the Cardinals culture.
I don't think
he would immediately be the new, more aggressive Wainwright.
He would be the new Chris Carpenter.
Yeah, that is what.
Yeah. He would actually. Yeah, that's a pretty good comparison. There are always pitchers to go get, and I just.
Okay.
Mo has not at the deadline added in 2-3 years, right? And then the Cardinals have the ability now to go buy a pitcher or two if they need to at the deadline. And I think they can do it. I think that they have bullpen pieces that have been very good. Gant's been amazing. Brebbia has been very good. Leone has been pretty good. Mike Myers, I think that they're fairly concerned about the injury from last night. That
loved him and Austin Powers.
Yeah, that's probably not a great situation. Hicks has been good. I think they could probably stand to be a little more flexible with how they use him, right? He's been used pretty sparingly. Miller seems to be figuring it out, right?
Thank God.
He's rounding into form.
It took us. It was like, this is kind of queasy now.
The questions with the bullpen were always to me going to be about usage and whether whether or not, for example, Luke Gregerson were to come back and then Brebbia were to get sent out, that would obviously be calamitous. Yes. But that's not going to happen. I think they're at a point now where they know, it seems weird to suggest that John Gant and John Brebbia are going to get important outs, but they have done that, right? The only guy to touch Brebbia this season has been Christian Yelich in Milwaukee, and what are you going to do?
It is what it is.
What are you going to do?
Guys, great first hour. Give Jeff Jones a follow online at JM Jones. Go check out Scoops with Danny Mac. Support all the stuff that Jeff does. He does a wonderful job covering the Cardinals. And then the Blues, all hockey playoffs.
And the Mets.
The Mets. And the Mets. Don't forget the Mets.
I got nothing.
Jeff, thanks for coming by.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be here.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break. If you share the stream today, you're entered to win $100 to Gateway Powder Coating, which you can use towards getting your grill touched up, maybe your wheels. Anything metal, you can paint it, you can powder coat it. $100. Just got to hit share. Make it happen. Quick break here on We Are Live. We'll be back on the other side with our new friend, Stacey Static. Going to have a good time. We'll be right back.